This is the longest shot in NBA history with 89 feet. This record will never be broken, but this is just the beginning. From averaging 50 points per game for a whole season to playing a game with 6 overtimes. These are 15 NBA records that will never be broken. And at number 15 we have an NBA game where 370 points were scored. You heard that right. On December 13, 1983, the Nuggets played against the Pistons and ended up with a scoreboard of 186 to 184 in a win for the Pistons. Can you believe that 4 players dropped the 40 bomb in a single game? Me neither. But next record is even more incredible. So for this one, I'll let you guess. What is the number for the most consecutive missed 3-pointers by a team? Maybe 9? Maybe 15? Or maybe 27? Unfortunately, it's 27. On May 28, 2018, the Houston Rockets set an NBA playoff record for missing 27 consecutive 3-pointers in their Game 7 loss to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. If this would be a normal game, we could just call it a day, but the fact that the Rockets did this in a game which decided if the team was going to visit the NBA Finals or not, makes it even more distressing. So please subscribe to the channel so that I don't miss all of my threes. But let's not get stuck with negative records. Sometimes we gotta celebrate great individual performances. But when is a player's performance considered great? When he scores a triple-double? Yeah, well, it used to be. Back in the day, a player who scored more than 10 points, 10 rebounds and 10 assists in one game had a great night. But then there's Russell Westbrook. This guy averaged a triple-double for not 1, not 2 and not 3, but 4 whole seasons. Damn, they should change his name to Triple-Double Westbrook. But for the next record, you have to fasten your seatbelts. Averaging a triple-double is an incredible feat. But most of the times, points per game are considered more valuable or more convincing than the whole stat line. There have been many NBA greats who averaged more than 30 points per game. But Wilt Chamberlain was on a whole nother level. Because he averaged more than 50 points per game. No wonder this guy scored 100 in a single game if he averaged 50 for a whole season. But what didn't even last one season is the shortest NBA career of all time. Because the shortest career of all time lasted, drumroll please, 4 seconds. Yep, this is not a joke. In 2007, Jameson Curry was drafted by the Clippers and signed a 10-day contract with them. The only time he was subbed in to play was in the final seconds of a losing game to Boston. Afterwards, that man never stepped foot on a court again. Talking about stepping off the court, Ben Doven has the record for the most consecutive ejections in NBA history. He managed to get kicked out 6 times in a row. This even happened to him in playoff games. But now that we are talking about playoffs, we have to question how the Baltimore Bullets, nowadays Washington Bullets, managed to reach the playoffs with a very bad record. Normally, teams have the chance of catching a seed if they win half their games, so let's say 40 wins. And yes, there are examples where teams reach the playoffs with only 30 wins. But in 1953, the Baltimore Bullets reached the playoffs with a 16-54 record. This is what it feels like when I pass a test despite starting to learn for it the break before we write it. If you enjoyed this video so far, make sure that my subscribe count breaks the record. But honestly, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to this channel. But now let's get back, because we still have some incredible feats to discover. Earlier in this video, we talked about 3-pointers. What do you think is the average score for an NBA player considering 3-pointers made in one season? Well, I didn't find an answer to this question, so my guess would be around 100. There are about 80 games per team per season, so that would mean a player hits a little over 1 3 per game. Okay, quiz time. What do you think Steph did? How many threes did he shoot in one season? A. 302, B. 370 or C. 402? If you chose C, then you're absolutely right. Stephen Curry made 402 3-pointers in one season. If he played 80 games, that means he hit more than 5 threes per game. Sometimes I wonder if this guy has some kind of secret hack or cheat code. Another human cheat code is Michael Air Jordan. Because when it comes to game-winning buzzer beaters, he still holds the record. MJ managed to turn around 9 games after the clock expired. Just look at them.
3 seconds. Jordan scores up shot. Oh, yes! Wins. Jordan with 2 seconds left. Jordan to win. Jordan for the win. Yes! I did it again!
It's absolutely beautiful. But now that we are talking buzzer beaters, we have to mention the longest game-winning buzzer beater in NBA history. Because in 2021, Devontae Graham hit a 61-foot shot after the horn sounded.
Didn't get him, and give Shai Gilgeous-Alexander credit as Devontae sends it. Gets it!
But what's not that beautiful is the lowest scoring game in NBA history. On November 22, 1950, the Fort Wayne Pistons defeated the reigning champions of the Minneapolis Lakers. Both teams combined scored less points than your favorite player on a good night, because the game ended in a 19-18 score. It feels like everyone let their grandpas play. Next up, we have the record for the highest single game margin of victory. This sounds exciting, doesn't it? On December 17, 1991, the Cleveland Cavaliers took down the Miami Heat 148-80, putting up the largest margin of victory in NBA history. Could you imagine losing with a 68-point differential? This must be a new level of humiliation. But large feats can sometimes come from small players. This guy, for example. This is Maxi Bogues. What would you guess his height? Kinda difficult, isn't it? Bogues is the only player ever to play in the league at a height of 5'3" or 160 centimeters. No matter how big the competition, this guy managed to find a way around it. So now you can't say that you're not able to join the NBA because of height anymore. Hey, are you still here? Congrats if you made it this far. We got 2 more records to go, so let's dive into it. And at number 2 we have the quickest to foul out. A feat which Bubba Wells managed to reach in just 3 minutes. This man must have forgotten to turn off his oven or something. But it was actually part of his strategy. Head coach Don Nelson decided to pull a Hacker-Rodman strategy to send Dennis Rodman to the line early and often. They thought this would help them to win, but a few free throws later, Bubba was out. Finally, to put the cherry on top, we have to mention the highest points scored by a player in a single game of basketball. On March 2, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set the record by tallying 100 points. Throughout the last years, we have seen great individual performances. This year alone, Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points in January, and Damian Lillard followed with the same amount later on in the season. Next player to beat this was Kobe Bryant with 81 points. But the fact that Wilt Chamberlain's record has stood for over 50 years now and still hasn't been broken is what makes this record seem so unbreakable. My guess about who is going to break it is Steph Curry, because he's the greatest shooter in the current NBA and started as an undersized skinny college prospect. So make sure to watch the story of Steph to see his development. Just click the video. I'm starting to get tired, so yeah, this video is over. You can go now. Seriously, just click on the video. I'll see you there.